The 29th word, the angels and the unseen. Fourth fundamental point, the angels in the living order of the universe. What if the universe is far more alive than we imagine? Look closely. A flower is not merely a flower. It carries a remarkable pattern of beauty. Its very existence seems to speak. It points beyond itself, and it praises its creator through the language of its being. Now look at a garden. A single flower has its own purpose, but the garden has a greater purpose. It becomes like one vast flower. Its colors, its harmony, its countless forms of life. Together they perform a universal act of praise. The same is true of a tree. A fruit appears, a flower opens, a leaf unfolds. Each has its own function, yet the entire tree performs a greater service. It becomes like a single living declaration, and the pattern continues. The heavens themselves can be viewed in the same way. The sun, the moon, the stars, countless worlds moving through immense spaces. Each appears like a word, and together they form a vast cosmic expression, a declaration of order, a declaration of beauty, a declaration of power. From this perspective, even what appears lifeless is not without purpose. Matter may seem silent, unconscious, still, yet it participates in an extraordinary order. Everything performs a function. Everything contributes to a greater harmony. And according to this vision, the angels are connected to this hidden dimension of creation. They represent the worship and glorification expressed by the universe. They are, in a sense, the counterparts of these visible creatures in the unseen world. The universe becomes like a vast palace, and within that palace there are many kinds of servants. Plants and inanimate things perform their duties without knowing them. Animals serve wider purposes without fully understanding them. Human beings, however, can recognize the purpose behind creation. They can understand, they can choose, and they can consciously respond. But there is another order of beings beyond physical desire, beyond material reward. For them, the greatest reward is closeness to their Creator, His command, His attention, His favor, His presence. Their worship is their joy, their service is their perfection, and their connection to God is their fulfillment. Their duties are not all the same. Just as a great government has many offices and many officials, the universe contains different realms of service. Each has its own function. Each has its own form of glorification. Tradition describes the Archangel Michael as having a special connection with the creatures of the earth. He is associated with the vast processes of life that unfold across the planet. The animals, too, are described as having their own appointed spiritual guardians. Different realms, different duties, different forms of service, but one greater order. This helps us understand why angels are described in such extraordinary ways in the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. One narration speaks of angels with enormous numbers of heads, each head, many mouths, and every mouth, many tongues, all glorifying God in different ways. Taken literally, the image is immense, but beneath the image lies a deeper idea. The worship of the angels is vast, ordered, comprehensive, and beyond our ordinary perception. Consider the earth. From space it appears as one world, one living system. Yet within it are countless forms of life. Forests, oceans, mountains, animals, plants, millions upon millions of individual acts, each contributing to the greater whole. In this sense, the earth itself can be imagined as having countless tongues of praise, and the angel associated with it represents this vast universal meaning in the unseen realm. There is an example from nature that makes this idea even more striking. Consider an almond tree. A single tree can have dozens of great branches. Each branch divides into smaller branches. Those branches carry flowers, and each flower contains its own intricate structure, layer after layer, pattern after pattern, order within order, beauty within beauty, and each detail points toward a greater meaning. The question then arises, could such a tree perform so many intricate functions and yet have no appointed spiritual representative? Could all this order exist without a deeper dimension? For the believer, the answer is no. The visible world is not the whole story. It is only the surface. Behind the visible form lies another dimension, a dimension of meaning, a dimension of worship, a dimension inhabited by beings we cannot normally see. And now, we are invited to look beyond the visible, to open the doors of the Qur'an, to enter a world where angels are not distant ideas, but part of a living cosmic order. The Qur'an speaks of them. It describes their movements, their obedience, their duties, their worship. It presents them as servants who act only by divine command. They do not act independently. They do not rebel. They carry out what they are commanded. The Qur'an says, "Glory be to him. They are but servants raised to honor. They speak not before he speaks, and they act by his command." These words offer a powerful image, a universe filled with obedience, a universe filled with service, a universe in which countless beings perform their duties, even when human eyes cannot see them. And then there is another unseen creation, the jinn. The Quran tells of a group of them listening to the revelation. They hear the recitation, they recognize its guidance, and they respond. They say that they have heard a wondrous recitation, a recitation that guides to what is right, and they believe in it. They refuse to associate anything with their Lord. So the Quran opens another door. Beyond the world of matter, beyond what our senses normally reveal, a world of angels, a world of jinn, a world of unseen realities. Perhaps the universe is not silent after all. Perhaps the silence is only our limitation. Perhaps every star, every ocean, every tree, every living creature is part of a greater order, an order we can observe but cannot completely see. And perhaps beyond the visible universe, there is a world that is constantly praising its creator, a world of beings whose existence is hidden from our eyes, but whose purpose is deeply connected to the meaning of creation. The visible world may be only the beginning. The unseen may be far closer than we think.